Hi everyone, this is Eugene from JINJER and you are watching Loud TV. There is a very good phrase to explain. It was above all expectations. We keep saying this to all interviewers. It was just simply above all expectations. We couldn't expect it to be so cool. Simply awesome. When Cradle of Filth suddenly cancelled their performance because Danny felt bad that night, and we played as a headliner. So we had 4 gigs headlining last spring in the US. Well, it was same good as all the others. Because I have to say that I believe quite a lot of people every night went to see JINJER. Yeah, obviously Cradle of Filth pulled most of the crowd, but there was some percentage, like 1/3 of people probably, who came to see us, and it was cool because obviously it was quite easy to distinguish who came to see only JINJER, who came to see only Cradle of Filth, and who came to see both. That's, yeah, and it was fun. It was really fun. The good side is, well, that there is no language barrier. Like, everybody speaks English. Yeah, it's their native language, mother tongue. They sing along with you all the time, simply all the time. Yes, and in some places, well, it depends on the city also, because in some places they were more or less passive. In some places they were absolutely crazy. So the country, I mean, the United States is big, and from one place to another it's different. Well, no, we also had that problem with the visas there. Because we had to miss, unfortunately, first 3 shows in Texas. Yeah, and we're still sorry about that. And soon, very soon, we're gonna compensate our fault, but not even our fault, but this American consulate's embassy fault. Yeah, we had the delay there, and we had the delay again. This time with the UK. Just delay getting visas. Yeah, we are considered to be sort of third world country, and all rich countries, especially in the western part of the world, like the USA or the UK, their governments are afraid that Ukrainians will come and stay as immigrants. And this fear, it's just for everybody. They are afraid of everybody. Even though we are sort of established music band and we have tours scheduled all around the world, they're still afraid of that, which is absolutely ridiculous and silly. Yeah, how can they be afraid of us as immigrants if we have 30 more shows all around the world after the UK shows? Well, and that's why, because of this threat, they constantly keep on asking and demanding and requesting more and more documents, papers, and it's sort of endless bureaucracy. In this case, in case of us, we just we gave in all the documents we had, and then the last moment, right before issuing visas, they all of a sudden requested bank statements. The statements which show that we have enough money on our bank accounts. And on one hand, it was absolutely, I just couldn't understand why they need this, because we applied for working visas, and applying for working visas, people usually do not hand in this thing. Yeah, and on the other hand, they requested these bank statements during Ukrainian bank holidays when all the banks were closed, and we just couldn't go to a bank and ask for this statement for each of us. So it's just, it brought a lot of confusion. Then we asked all promoters from the UK to write petitions, to send petitions to the British consulate, and they did. All promoters sent a mail saying that they will lose money, they would lose money if Ginger do not come to the UK, and fans are waiting for this, and the events are really serious. So, and the consulate seemed like quite friendly. They wrote back that, yeah, we understand the situation, we will try to speed up the process as much as we can. But then there is another piece of bureaucracy, because the consulate only says yes or no about a visa, but the visa center in Kyiv issues visas. So it was bad communication between them, and eventually we got our passports 3 or 4 days later. 3 or 4 days later, and had to cancel first 2 shows, which is very, very sad, because the show in Guildford was almost sold out, and we were really, really waiting for the show our performance at TechFest. And unfortunately, we just didn't make it, unfortunately. But at least 1 gig at Amplified was sort of a little compensation in this situation. Sorry, Ukrainians, for saying this, but this is a bad part of being a Ukrainian citizen. Because if you are a European Union citizen, you just don't need any visa. Or if you come from the States, you just come from the States, and yeah, they also need some sort of docs, like sponsorship certificate, but it's not as complicated as with us. So this is it. We had only 2 bonuses there. We added live performances. That one, which is very, very widespread and popular on YouTube, that Who's Gonna Be the One performed at Atlas. And we thought that it is a good idea to put it on a CD, because, well, we played well, the recording is well, so why not people just listen to it on a CD? And also there is a quite rare thing. There is Plus and Minus performed live in Kyiv in 2015. It was available on our Crowd Factory DVD, which is sold out completely, and we are not going to make any reissues or second editions, nothing like that. So again, people can listen how we played it that time. Also, a vinyl was absolutely remastered. So it's a bit different sound on vinyl. Not a bit, it's quite different sound on the vinyl. And finally, we have a vinyl edition, because before that, Cloud Factory was never available on a vinyl. Yes, it is technical, but I cannot say I can improve for the next album. I am improving every day. And this is the same for all of us. I believe that every single show, I'm getting better and better and better. Every single rehearsal. So definitely it's gonna be better for all musicians, and Tatiana too. So because we develop, we improve ourselves. The plan is to go to America. Again? This fall? This fall, yeah. But before that, we will finally go to a studio and record songs in September. Yeah, we talked about this last time, yeah, about releases. And it's interesting that we often have interviews with you. And every time you ask us about new album, and we say, oh, it's going to be that time, and then we shift it, we postpone that time. And again, it is interesting why it happens, because this time we were in America, we played a tour with Cradle of Filth, and our plan was to come to Ukraine in the autumn and make a full-length album, because we would have the whole season, 3 months at home. But at the end of the American tour, Des Fafara from Devil Driver, our manager, calls me and says, "Okay, Eugene, you have to come back in the autumn." And I'm saying, "Des, but we were planning to make an album." He says, "No, it's more important for you to come here and play, because you have to make a foundation for the band. Everything is going very, very well, so you have to come back." And he persuaded me and all the others about that. And but our argument was that we can come back, but at the same time we cannot, because we need to make new songs. We personally, I mean, we cannot play anymore the same songs on stage. We just need to make something new. And we agreed that we will make an EP. So we're gonna record an EP, 4 or 5 songs, absolutely brand new, a bit different direction, a bit different approach. So, but still Ginger. It's gonna be progressive.